My question is, who did you fire for this? Who got fired because of that?
Senator, we study all of this because it's important and we want to improve our services.
Well, you just told me a second ago you studied it, that there was no linkage. Who did you fire?
Yeah, I said you mischaracterized.
37% of teenage girls between 13 and 15 were exposed to unwanted nudity in a week on Instagram. You knew about it. Who did you fire?
Senator, this is why we're building all.
Who did you fire?
Tools.
Hello, Patriots. Welcome back to Conservative Mandate, the channel where we expose the lies, corruption, and threats to America's core freedoms. Today, we're diving into a bombshell hearing that every freedom-loving American needs to know about. Senator Josh Hawley took Mark Zuckerberg to task, exposing the shocking truth about how Facebook and Instagram have been harming our children, undermining families, and dodging accountability. Zuckerberg's empire has made billions off a platform that is destroying lives, and Hawley is standing up for the American people. This is about more than just big tech. This is about protecting our kids, defending our values, and holding the elite accountable. Before we get into the details, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts. And watch until the end to see how we, as Patriots, can fight back against big tech tyranny. Together, we can send a message that America's families will not be silenced. Let's break it down. Josh Hawley didn't pull any punches. Zuckerberg tried to spin his usual PR lines, claiming there's no link between mental health problems and social media. But Hawley hit back with Zuckerberg's own internal studies that show Instagram is making life worse for 1 in 3 teenage girls. Imagine that. A tech billionaire running a platform that increases anxiety, depression, and body image issues in our children. And what does Zuckerberg do? He denies it. He hides behind science that he knows his own company disproves. This is deception on a massive scale. Hawley also exposed whistleblower data showing how Instagram is exposing teenage girls to unwanted nudity, sexual advances, and self-harm content. It's sickening. 37% of girls aged 13 to 15 reported seeing inappropriate content in just 1 week. 1 week. Zuckerberg knew this and took no action. No one was fired. No one was held accountable. Is this the kind of leadership we want from one of the most powerful companies in the world? Absolutely not.
Turn over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Zuckerberg, let me start with you. Did I hear you say in your opening statement that there's no link between mental health and social media use?
Senator, what I said is I think it's important to look at the science. I know people widely talk about this as if that is something that's already been proven. And I think that the bulk of the scientific evidence does not support that.
Well, really, let me just remind you of some of the science from your own company. Instagram studied the effect of your platform on teenagers. Let me just read you some quotes from the Wall Street Journal's report on this. Company researchers found that Instagram is harmful for a sizable percentage of teenagers, most notably teenage girls. Here's a quote from your own study. Quote, "We make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls." Here's another quote. "Teens blamed Instagram," this is your study, "for increases in the rate of anxiety and depression. This reaction was unprompted and consistent across all groups." That's your study.
Senator, we try to understand the feedback and how people feel about the services. We can improve.
Wait a minute. Your own study says that you make life worse for 1 in 3 teenage girls. You increase anxiety and depression. That's what it says. And you're here testifying to us in public that there's no link. You've been doing this for years. For years, you've been coming in public and testifying under oath that there's absolutely no link. Your product is wonderful. The science is nascent, full speed ahead, while internally, you know full well your product is a disaster for teenagers.
Senator,
and yet you keep right on doing what you're doing. Right?
That's not true. That's not true.
Let me show you some other facts I know that you're familiar with. Wait a minute. That's not a question. That's not a question. Those are facts, Mr. Zuckerberg. That's not a question.
Those aren't facts.
Let me show you some more facts. Here's some information from a whistleblower who came before the Senate, testified under oath in public. He worked for you. He's a senior executive. Here's what he showed he found when he studied your products. So, for example, this is girls between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. 37% of them reported that they had been exposed to nudity on the platform unwanted in the last 7 days. 24% said that they had experienced unwanted sexual advances they'd been propositioned in the last 7 days. 17% said they had encountered self-harm content pushed at them in the last 7 days. Now, I know you're familiar with these stats because he sent you an email where he lined it all out. I mean, we've got a copy of it right here. My question is, who did you fire for this? Who got fired because of that?
Senator, we study all of this because it's important and we want to improve our services.
Well, you just told
And
me
I
a
think
second
that
ago you studied it, that there was no linkage. Who did you
Senator,
fire?
Yeah, I said you mischaracterized.
37% of teenage girls between 13 and 15 were exposed to unwanted nudity in a week on Instagram. You knew about it. Who did you fire?
Senator, this is why we're building all
Who
these
did you
different
fire?
tools. Senator, I don't think that's.
Who did you fire?
I'm not going to answer that.
Because you didn't fire anybody, right? You didn't take any significant
I don't think
action.
it's appropriate to talk about like
It's not
individual
appropriate.
HR decisions.
Do you know who's sitting behind you? You've got families from across the nation whose children are either severely harmed or gone, and you don't think it's appropriate to talk about steps that you took? The fact that you didn't fire a single
happy
person?
to-
Let me
happy
ask you
to
this.
talk
Let me
about
ask you
steps
this.
that we took.
Have you
Let me
compensated
speak.
any of the victims?
Sorry,
Have you compensated any of the victims? These girls, have you compensated them?
I don't believe so.
Why not? Don't you think they deserve some compensation for what your platform has done? Help
Senator-
with counseling services, help with dealing with the issues that your services caused?
Our job is to make sure that we build tools to help keep people safe.
Are you
across
going
our
to compensate them?
Senator, our job and what we take seriously is making sure that we build industry-leading tools to find harmful
make
content,
money.
take it off the services,
To make money.
and to build tools that empower parents.
So you
that
didn't
help
take
work
any
with-
action, you didn't
That's
take
not
any
true,
action, you
Senator.
didn't fire anybody, you haven't
not true.
compensated a
That's
single
not-
victim.
that's
Let
not
me
what I
ask you
said.
this, let me ask you this. There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now?
Well-
They're here, you're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures. Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
I'm sorry for everything that you have all gone through. It's terrible. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. And this is why we invest so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
You know, why, Mr. Zuckerberg, why should your company not be sued for this? Why is it that you can claim, you hide behind a liability shield, you can't be held accountable? Shouldn't you be held accountable personally? Will you take personal responsibility?
Senator, I think I've already answered this. I mean, these
Well,
are
try this
serious
again.
issues.
Will you take personal responsibility?
Senator, I view my job and the job of our company as building the best tools that we can to keep our community safe.
Well, you're failing at that.
Well, Senator, we're doing an industry-leading effort. We build AI tools
nonsense. Your product is killing people. Will you personally commit to compensating the victims? You're a billionaire. Will you commit to compensating the victims? Will you set up a compensation fund
Senator,
with your
I
money?
think these are
With your money.
complicated- Senator, these are complicated
Yes, no,
issues.
that's not a complicated question, though. That's a
Senator,
yes or no.
this is-
Will you set up a victims' compensation fund with your money, the money you made on these families sitting behind you? Yes or no?
Senator, I don't think that's my job is to
Sounds
make
like
sure
a
we
no.
build good tools. My
Sounds
job
like a
is
no.
to make sure that
Your job is to be responsible for what your company has done. You've made billions of dollars on the people sitting behind them. You here? You've done nothing to help them. You've done nothing to compensate them. You've done nothing to put it right. You could do so here today, and you should. You should, Mr. Zuckerberg.
When Hawley demanded answers, Zuckerberg squirmed. He refused to admit personal responsibility. He refused to commit to compensating the victims. Families who've lost children were sitting right behind him in that hearing room. And still, Zuckerberg wouldn't apologize until Hawley forced him to. Even then, it was a hollow apology, dripping with insincerity. But here's the kicker. Zuckerberg made billions of dollars off these platforms that harm our kids. Billions. And what has he done to help these families? Nothing. No compensation. No accountability. Nothing. This is a man who hides behind liability shields while his company profits from content that's killing people. That's right, Patriots killing people. Hawley said it, and he's absolutely right. This is why we need strong leaders like Josh Hawley who will stand up to big tech tyranny. This isn't just about one company. It's about defending America's values, protecting our families, and restoring accountability. Zuckerberg and his Silicon Valley elites think they're untouchable, but they're not. We the people are watching. We will not sit idly by while they profit off the destruction of our communities. So what can you do? Share this video far and wide. Let everyone know the truth about Facebook and Instagram. Comment below with your thoughts. Subscribe to Conservative Mandate to stay informed. And most importantly, stay engaged. Call your representatives and demand action against big tech together. We can hold these billionaires accountable and fight for the future of our families. Thank you for watching, Patriots. Stay strong, stay united, and let's take back control of our country. God bless you, and God bless America.